What is up, everybody? So this video is going to be a little bit different than a lot of the other videos I've made, and that's because in this video I want to touch on this whole fouseytube situation that is unraveling before our eyes. So for anyone who's not familiar, fouseytube is one of the OG YouTubers. He's been around since 2011, 2012. And as of lately, he's basically started streaming his life 24/7. And since doing that, he's been having all of these manic episodes, these meltdowns, these super sketchy, unhealthy panic attacks on camera. And it's really sad to see. So just to give you guys a little added context on the timeline of fouseytube's life and career, he started on YouTube back in 2011, 2012, making prank videos, skit videos, talking head videos. And a lot of his content was actually pretty wholesome. It was pretty meaningful. And overall, he was a pretty likable guy. I guess after years of climbing to the top of the influencer world and kind of quote unquote making it, he started to have his first meltdown or his first self-destructive period where he started having all these different addictions, sex addiction, alcoholism, drugs. He had all these different addictions and he was in a really dark place. I think he went bankrupt. And he tried all of these different random side projects. I think he tried boxing at one point, he tried reality TV, and it was just this weird kind of gray area for him where he just couldn't figure out what was gonna grow his channel even more. He fell off for a bit, and really I didn't keep up with him and didn't really hear much about him up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago when he starts having these manic self-destructive episodes. It seems to be a theme with him that once he starts becoming relevant again, he just tends to self-destruct. And I say that because apparently he just signed or is signing or was supposed to sign this massive multi-million-dollar deal with Kick to be a partner with them. And since then, he's pretty much started self-destructing. He made the decision to start streaming his life 24/7, had the cameras rolling at all times, and that's when we're seeing all of these different instances where he's basically making himself look like a fool online. There's videos of him degrading waitresses in public.
I'll leave, it's okay. You seem like you're gonna cry. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
And that's not what it is, and I don't want to. I'm more concerned about the things.
Nobody's doing a bomb threat, man. Wake up. Nobody's doing a bomb threat. It's a 13-year-old at home trying to scare you. Don't cry. Somebody called in a bomb threat in 2018 and made me lose millions of dollars. They're doing this to fuck with me, not you guys. I don't want the food, by the way, and I'm not paying for it. It just came out. No, fuck this restaurant. I don't want the food. I don't know why you're laughing. You guys are kicking me out.
There's videos of him blowing up on fans in public and screaming and yelling at them.
No, you're not G7, go home. You're not G7, you're G1. Hey, don't follow us. Why? Okay, somebody leave me. Look what's happening right now. Get the fuck away!
Oh my god.
There's videos of him fighting and bullying 19-year-olds and other young influencers like the Island Boys and just hanging out with a weird group of people trying to get clout and trying to get attention. Of all of his recent stunts though, one of the most alarming one was this video of him at the airport where he met this random drunk girl at the airport bar. They start hitting it off and talking. Fousey ends up figuring out that she is a sex trafficking victim.
So I got sold into the sex trade.
You got sold in the sex trade? I actually care about this shit because I'm like an advocate for against sex trading and all that shit. What happened?
And he tries to play the good guy card and goes into depth about how he's had sex addiction and how he really cares about her.
I used to be a sex addict, so I used prostitutes for years. I used massage parlors for years, so I understand.
Yeah, so
I'm glad you're free from it now, though.
Yeah, I am. And
He then proceeds to, after that, give her a bunch of money. He gave her over $1,000 on Cash App. He flexes his social media following to her, I guess to kind of build credibility, and then ends up taking her to the bathroom and hooking up with her.
I just joined the Mile High Club. And I know it doesn't count as the Mile High Club because I was in the airport, but I still joined it. I swear to God.
As you can see, it's just a really bad image to give off, especially when you're live streaming 24/7. And his whole like facade that he puts on with this airport scene is really interesting. And it's something I've seen other people do in different contexts where they'll try to like overemphasize their personality, or they'll try to like be extra nice and comforting and responsive towards you when they want something from you. And I think this is exactly what happened with Fousey at the airport. He tried to be this shoulder to cry on for this girl that was drunk and obviously very vulnerable because he wanted something from her, i.e. sex. He then goes on to deny that anything even happened in the bathroom, even though we all know that that's a bunch of BS. And it's really just a bad look for Fousey. Then moving on to the latest and greatest Fousey stunt, he was in a hotel room. I don't know where he was at exactly, but he swatted himself.
There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Oh, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2027. That's what I have to do to get help?
And what does swatted mean? Well, that's basically where you call the police and make a threat, make like a bomb threat, or like make some sort of threat that results in police actually coming to your physical location, coming to your apartment to basically make sure that that threat isn't real. It's just a really sad situation as you look at it from an outside perspective. But the whole point of this video isn't necessarily just to bash on Fousey, but to see the underlying meaning in all of this. And that is that we are not meant to live our lives online 24/7. We are not meant to be in the public eye 24/7. And we see this with so many different celebrities throughout time where they're so used to being in the public eye and always having to feel like they need to be on that they end up self-destructing. We saw it with Britney Spears, we saw it with Justin Bieber, fouseytube, the list goes on. There's so many examples of this, and it just exemplifies how we have to have a separation between reality and our online brand or our online presence. When we are constantly feeling as though we're in the spotlight, we always feel like we have to perform and put on some sort of facade, and that can really eat away at someone's mental state. And while the majority of people don't have millions of followers like fouseytube does, I do still see this happening on a micro level to normal people day in and day out. They end up prioritizing their online persona and their online life over their actual reality, their actual life that they're living in day in and day out. And I really think that this is a main contributor as to why there's so many unhappy people today, and there's so many people who are having trouble with relationships and can never settle down because they think they're more important than they really are. I think like most things in life, in moderation, it can be very good, but it's when it becomes overbearing or you become obsessed with it that it starts to take a hold on your life and starts to negatively affect your life. So the message I'm trying to get across in this video is just to remember that there is a difference between online and reality. And I think we need to spend more time prioritizing reality and what's actually happening in our day-to-day lives, as opposed to being so worried about what our online image or online persona looks like. I think as of currently, fouseytube is in a mental health hospital or something, and I hope that he can get the help that he needs. I hope that once he gets out, he takes a step back from social media and allows himself just to get grounded again and kind of prioritize where he wants to put his time and energy. Although I really don't know how realistic that is. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.